The good moment is that there are so many different means for its realization, and it doesn't cost you very expensive. Therefore, it is very profitable. Electroplating process is widely used in machinery and electronic industry, in decorating crafts, model making, for jeweler purposes, making tools, as well as buttons, handlers, holders, etc. For professional coating of all sorts of car parts, electrical leads, contacts and plates. The aim of our lecture today is to give you substantive knowledge which will help you to gain successful results in practical electroplating for your business or your projects. First of all, we have to admit that in order to reach high experience in this useful and exciting work, you have to do some experiments and tests. Actually, like in every other field of occupation. I mean that you need some time and patience to be ready to spend more hours for electroplating of every new item. But after, when you will get good results, it will become more easy. We can highly recommend you to make some notices during these tests. Be sure that your second plating will be more successful and less difficult. Thickness and quality of coating is a complex function of electric current, temperature of solution, voltage, time of exposure, quality of salt, proper anode and item placement, and appropriate equipment as well. Therefore, the more you will experiment, the better quality you will achieve. Also, after you get some skills, you will definitely need less and less time for plating every next item. You must understand that in electroplating, depending from material, its form, size, quality, temperature, used solution and time of exposure, result can be different. There are two commonly used types of electroplating techniques. The one, which we will use today, and the most popular and practical technique, is tank plating. You just put the item inside the tank with solution, following required conditions. This method gives us the best quality and longest lifetime of goods. It is possible to electroplate multiple number of articles. Plus, chemicals used for this method are less expensive and can be reusable. The second method is brush plating or pen plating, used for plating for fixed, not movable items. Only one object per time can be plated. There are limited number of metals for this method. Mostly, it is gold, silver or chrome, and sometimes nickel. The disadvantages of brush plating are that you cannot plate items from inside properly, and the layer will be not even. Pen plating is the same brush plating but used for ultra small articles. Chemicals are usually not reusable for this method. The only advantage of this brush plating is a small consumption of solution. Few words about safety instructions. During the whole working process, you are required to follow health and safety instructions for working with electricity and chemicals. All chemicals have a safety data sheet which contains all required information. Please apply to your suppliers regarding this matter, or simply check for them in the internet. In order to hide any danger and troubles, it is preferable that you wear rope, gloves, protective glasses and safety mask before starting the process. The working area is supposed to be on the open air or in proper ventilated room. Please also remember the rule of making solution. Add chemicals to water. Never do it in reverse. Don't forget to follow safety instructions when you work with the equipment. Machine should be switched off when you prepare solution, anode and cathode. Voltage volume should stay in zero. A brief description of our lecture. Detailed explanation of electroplating process and show in practice will give you a whole relief from any fears to do it on your own. Let's dwell on the theory of considered process. In this concern we have to answer several questions. What is electroplating process? How to prepare items for electroplating? How to prepare solution for this process? What is anode and how to prepare it? What is electroplating equipment, its main features and time of usage? What is electroplating process? In simple words, electroplating process consists of allowing an electric current to flow through solution between two metal or any other electroconducting material objects placed in the solution at the positive and negative terminals of a direct current circuit. The current flow in this circuit results in the release of charged metal particles, called ions, into the solution. They pass from the positive terminal to negative. The features and the preparations for electroplating. Items can differ in sizes from small ones like simple ring to very big like a car bumper, materials and shapes. It depends on the size of your heating tank and power of your electroplating machine, rectifier. Obviously, you can process a car bumper in less powerful rectifier. Probably, you need more high-power electroplating equipment with more capacity tanks used at factories and plants. From this moment we will call articles which we will have to plate as cathode. Preparation of the item before plating process. 90% of unsuccessful plating is a result of bad preparation. Even if the item is new, there are some invisible for human eyes oil spots, some microelements which are secreted by our skin. Cleaning process. It is the most important stage of the whole electroplating. You have to be sure that the item was cleaned properly. Depending from the cleaning style, there are 4 different cleaning techniques. The first one, cleaning can be done manually, which is the worst but the cheapest, using sandpaper or cloth. The second method, by special cleaning machine which is supplied with inside brushes, but it also only means preliminary cleaning. The third method, by ultrasonic cleaning machine, and the last method, by electro cleaning machine, which is optional for special electroplating equipment. It uses metal cleaning salt. Remember, after cleaning process, don't touch the item to be plated by hands. Use tweezers only. For professional plating with a high quality and long lifetime of goods, it is vital. Sometimes it's required to use 2 or 3 cleaning methods for old and dirty items, but the best way is to use machinery which allows you to clean before plating. I mean, you cannot spoil the preparation with some extra cleaning. Stripping process. In case if the item was processed before, we have to strip old plated layers. This function can be done with most of the modern plating equipment. For the process, we need to prepare a stripping bath. An object should be fixed to plus and the anode should be fixed to minus. The time for stripping process depends from old layers thickness and size of the object. how to prepare it. First of all, it is necessary to clarify the meaning of anode. Anode is the electrode at which oxidation takes place in electrochemical cell. There are several major rules for anodes. The first one, material. Depending from material and shape of the item, the cathode, we have to prepare proper solution and anode. Anode should perfectly suit to the item to be processed. It means that it's required to choose anodes depending from items and types of plating. That will help you to gain better result and prolong the lifetime of solution. The size of anode. It is required to choose the right anode of the proper size. Anode is always bigger on size than the item's area to be plated. Sometimes you can use 2 or 4 anodes placed opposite for 2 or around for 4 in the plating tank. The form of anode. In case if your item is not flat, so-called sharp item, then it's required to find proper anode of the spatial form, or it's necessary during electroplating process to turn manually the item for getting sufficient results, proper layer. If you want to achieve better results, then it's sensible to use special equipment, cathode rotating stand, which gives you excellent ability for best covering. What's more important, usage of cathode rotating stand will save you time and money. You don't need to look for a round, perfect form and material. For some expensive materials, gold and silver, you could use mesh as a anode. Installation of anode. First of all, it's important to install an anode in the plating tank properly. For this purpose, the anode must be fastened in such way that it cannot float in the tank. To prevent that, thickness of the anode must be minimum 0.5 mm or more. Industrial plating using anodes up to 20 mm thick. The distance between anode and plating object must be no less than 1 to 2 cm. According to professional plating conditions, this distance plus current intensity of 5 to 7 volt will give you the best result. Once again, I would like to draw your attention that due to high number of factors, such as tank volume, used chemicals, distance between anode and the item, temperature of the air and solution, agitation, etc., result will be different. Any type of solutions. In order to prepare a solution, we should have deionized or distilled water and chemicals. Please pay attention that for professional electroplating, all solutions should be done only in deionized or distilled water. It is preferably to use deionized water, which you can easily get in many shops or petrol stations. How to prepare solution for electroplating process. Before making solution, mixing of distilled or deionized water with the chemicals, we have to heat water up to 30 to 70 degrees. This procedure is designed to let all chemicals dissolve properly. Some chemicals are compiled with additives. For example, gold salt contains some additives for shiny effect, some for better cover, and etc. But not all of those admixtures are soluble in cold water. Remember, it's prohibited to heat water more than 75–80 degrees to prevent the destruction of chemicals. The volume of solution. It depends on the size of the item to be processed. The less is the best, but at the same time it should be enough to cover the item. The volume of the chemicals. Volume of chemicals in water is different for many types of solution. Usually you can find an instruction for making your solution on the package. Some additional information. Usually professional plating measures solutions volume using ordinary rings. On average, 200–250 rings require 1 liter of the solution. We mention in average because it depends from material and thickness of the layer you will get. Normal thickness cannot be less than 5 to 7 microns. What is electroplating machinery and how to use it? Basic features for modern professional electroplating machinery are the following. Heating option. This option allows you to keep the temperature of solution in tanks about 50 degrees, as required in professional electroplating. Voltage current regulation. While electroplating process, you must have opportunity to change voltage in order to gain successful results. Usual voltage is about 5 to 7 volts. Agitation system. This option is designed to saturate solution with oxygen. It will increase conductivity in solution, which accordingly increase quality of covering the lifetime of solution, and its quality also becomes better. This finally means that you save some money. Impulse option. Before plating hard metals, you can give an impulse into solution for 20 to 30 seconds. This system will increase quality of covering by striking electrons in the item cells. Again, it will save you some money, solution lifetime, and increase quality of layer. Cathode rotation. The purpose of the item's rotation in plating tank, even distribution of layer. As we said earlier, some uneven articles are difficult to plate properly. This option will rotate item while electroplating process. In connection with this, you could use only one anode, save money on it, and achieve better layer quality. How to choose correct equipment. If you finally decided to start an electroplating business, you have to be aware what sort of tools you need to have. The original set of instruments includes appropriate plating rectifier, additional equipment like heating, agitation and rotation, plating tank suitable to your items, and required chemicals. The rectifier. It is best to have rectifier including all extra options like heating, agitation, impulse, cathode rotating stand, and smooth volume regulation system. Electroplating rectifiers differ in voltage power. The more powerful rectifier we have, the higher electric current amperage we can get. Usual range provided by most of the common rectifiers is about 9 to 24 volts. Exact volume of electric current depends on the area of plating item, but never on the tank size. For example, for plating 10 square inch article made of copper, it is required to have electric current of 1 ampere, but plating of 10 square inch article made of chrome requires rectifier, which gives 10 ampere current. So once again, the more powerful rectifier we have, the faster we can get the result. Please consult your supplier regarding correct amperage value on every plating process. Also, it is vital for rectifier to have the possibility to adjust voltage precisely and smoothly, especially for those who will run electroforming business. The additional equipment. For heating option, it is mostly used glass heating elements. The disadvantage of them is that they are fragile. That is why some people use stainless steel for heating. But be careful, it can react with some solution. For agitation option, all modern machinery use inbuilt compressor, so as for heating system. For rotation of articles in the tank, we usually use cathode rotating stands. The tank. It is highly recommended to use tanks made of polypropylene or polyethylene. Make sure it can withstand used acids. Also, be careful using colored tanks. It can spoil solution. Make sure your tank volume is enough to cover the biggest item or all number of items you're going to plate. It is important to keep minimum distance between plated items, about 2-3 centimeters, not including a knot. Check the ability to use agitation system in your tank. There are two common types. The first one with moving cathode and the second one with moving solution provided by agitation system. For non-industrial equipment, I mean the home conditions, it is preferable to use second type. Check if there is enough cathode stands to power up all the items. Remember, you should have enough tanks for the whole process. Minimum, there must be 3 tanks. The first one for cleaning, the second for rinsing, and the last one for plating. Now let's turn into practice. Today we have a stainless steel rope for a copper plating. On the first stage we have to fill the first cleaning tank with the prepared solution, heated before up to 50 degrees. With some old equipment there is no this option, but all modern electroplating machinery like this one, which we will use today, have this heating option. For example, while using cold water, it will take us about 1 hour to dissolve all the chemicals, and while using the heated water, it will take us just a few minutes to dissolve the cleaning salt. So on the next, after we have clarified the suitable size and form of anode, which is stainless steel for cleaning, we can fix them in the following way. The red lead, which means positive, goes to anode. The black lead, which means negative, goes to the plating item. Remember, in stripping process, anodes and cathodes should be fixed in reverse way. Cathode, the item, goes to positive lead, and the anode goes to negative lead. After fixing of anode and cathode, we can switch on the power. For the cleaning option, we have to adjust our voltage for 5 volts. Here we go. Now we have exact rate. So now after we switched, we give the power, we fixed anode and cathode, we can start cleaning. So we put the item inside the tank with cleaning solution. Now you can see the reaction. Chemical salt cleans our stainless steel rod. After cleaning, it's obligatory to put our item inside the tank with rinsing water to wash out all the cleaning solution. It's only allowed to use special forceps to move our item, never do it by hand. Finally, we repeat the procedure in the tank with the plating solution. We fix a anode to positive lead, and we fix the item to negative and put the item into the plating tank for electroplating process. There are 2 possible placing orders depending on material of plating item. For some items it's required to put the item before switching the voltage. For another we need reverse order. Now we'll see the result. The plating solution reacts So this is the proper layer of copper over the stainless steel rope. If you have followed all recommendations used in professional plating, which I gave you above, the voltage volume 5-7 volts up to 1 ampere on a square inch, you used heating, agitation, impulse options, properly prepared solution, and well cleaned the item, usually it will take you 20 seconds to cover a proper layer in 5-7 microns thickness, like we have here. Remember, the less ampere rate, the better result but more time of process. It is highly recommended to put item into the solution only once. It will prevent item of separate layers covered one over another. Accordingly, that will increase quality of plating. After you finish plating, you have to follow the basic rules to keep your equipment. Most chemicals are reusable. To save and prolong long life of chemicals, you should keep it in a dark, cool place, in order to prevent from the sun and temperature impact. Please see best before instructions on the package. It is logical to pour out all the chemicals back to original package for better storage. Once again, I would like to pay your attention to safety instructions. Please wear special safety gloves. Use protective glasses. Use special rope. Electroplating process must be organized in a well-ventilated place or on the fresh air. The key to success in electroplating is to be precise in following required conditions and solid preparations, as well as keeping safety measures.